Good evening, viewers. A very warm welcome to all of you in today's episode of our weekly magazine series, Youth Folio. We have a long lineup of informative and very interesting stories for you. Let's get cracking. First comes our current issues section. Nagaland government arranges special train to ferry Nagas from Delhi. Green Mizoram Day observed in Mizoram. COVID positive cases among returnees from Bangladesh forced closure of the integrated checkpost at Tripura. Manipur Chief Minister and team inspect ongoing works at the National Sports University. Around 1,000 Naga boys and girls studying or working in Delhi trooped into the national capital's sprawling Ambedkar Stadium with suitcases and backpacks early morning on Sunday the 14th of June, eager to take the facility of free passage back to their home state provided by the state government of Nagaland with active help from Delhi government and the Ministry of Railways.
Actually मैं IAS ब्रेन हूँ UPSC कोचिंग ले रहा था लेकिन लॉकडाउन की वजह से क्लास शटडाउन हो गया था इसलिए क्लास में दिल्ली में बैठा था लेकिन अभी ऑनलाइन क्लासेस चालू हो रहा है इसलिए घर जा रहा हूँ तो अभी उसके बाद क्लास शुरू होने से वापस आ सकता है और अभी तो क्लास में घर में से क्लास लेगा.
Today we have returnees from Delhi going back to our home state Nagaland. So we have about 1,000 plus returnees. The train has been state sponsored by the Delhi government but has been arranged by Nagaland government. And for the past 3 months, the Nagaland government has helped the returnees or like the standard citizens in Delhi by providing 10,000 rupees, right, per individual in case they decide to stay back. And in addition to that, there has been medical assistance like around 20,000 for patients that are undergoing treatment at various hospitals in the city. And in addition to that, the government has also presented around 3,000 for working students and individuals that are stranded in the city have been stranded for the city for the past 3 months.
And those who are going down today for the Shramik train also, the government of Nagaland has made all the payments. As of today, we have the medical team under Nagaland House also, led by Dr. Hantok. And the medical team has given assistance to almost 75 patients till date since the start of the lockdown. A number of patients, most of the patients have already gone back home by the flights and the Rajdhani special trains.
At the Ambedkar Stadium, the Naga people desiring to return were first registered, their identity proofs were checked. Thereafter, medical screening was carried out with digital thermometer and other checks by a team sent by Delhi government, NDMC and Nagaland House so as to ensure that no infected person boards the train, putting all at risk.
जैसा कि आप देख रहे हैं सारे के सारे स्टूडेंट्स की हम स्क्रीनिंग कर रहे हैं. यहाँ दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट के स्टाफ भी है, एनडीएमसी के स्टाफ भी है. स्क्रीनिंग प्रोसीजर में हम लोग ये देखना चाह रहे हैं कि यहाँ पे सबका टेम्परेचर जो वो सही रहे ताकि यहाँ से कोई भी इन्फेक्टेड या सस्पेक्टेड केसेस ना जा पाए और साथ में हम थोड़ा देखते हैं कि जनरल कंडीशन की उनका सब ठीक ठाक हो.
Water, snacks and kits with masks, sanitizer etc. were provided to all. The distributing teams were aided by Delhi Police's Pune unit. After the distribution of snacks, registration and health checks, the returnees were provided vegetarian lunch at the stadium itself. Teams of Delhi Police distributed this lunch, which was provided by a local Delhi Gurudwara at the behest of Delhi government as a goodwill gesture to the Nagas. After lunch, the Nagas desirous to return by the special Shramik train were transported to the old Delhi railway station by DTC buses, specially provided by the Delhi government. The state government of Nagaland too has extended help at various stages of lockdown to the Naga people in other states, including giving financial assistance of Rs 3,000 to students, Rs 4,000 to working professionals, and Rs 10,000 one-time assistance to Naga people who preferred to stay on in the other states. Before boarding the Shramik train at 6 p.m. from the Old Delhi railway station, the Nagas expressed gratitude for all the facilities they had received, while elders aired their satisfaction. The train reached Dimapur on the 16th of June.
I also would like to give my special appreciation and thanksgiving to Delhi Police and Helping Hands, No Tears Foundations, and BJP party, Congress party, irrespective of different political parties and organization. They have served the Nagas in particular and the Northeast in general. Words alone cannot express how much we are thankful to you. May God bless you all. Thank you.
The whole thing is being managed so nicely by Nagaland House officers, staff, and Delhi Police, and the Spooner. Everyone have done their duty.
Agartala's Integrated Check Post or ICP, located at the Agartala-Akhora border with Bangladesh, was shut for a week recently, soon after detection of COVID-19 positive cases of 6 BSF Jawans, 2 immigration staff, and a lady doctor posted at the ICP. They had all come in contact with infected Indian passengers who were allowed to return from Bangladesh by bus on the 28th of May last. Many among the 129 returnees from Bangladesh have tested positive after they were lodged in a quarantine center in Agartala. The Agartala ICP is one of the most important trade routes for Bangladesh through which cross-border movement of people and goods take place. Manipur's Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, along with the state's Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Letpao Haokip, inspected the progress of construction of the permanent campus of the National Sports University at Harauthel in the outskirts of Imphal on the 9th of June. The Chief Minister's visit came a day after he had a video conferencing with Union Sports and Youth Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju on early completion of construction of the National Sports University campus within stipulated time. During the inspection, both the Chief Minister and the Sports Minister were briefed by officials of NBCC India Limited, a central public sector enterprise under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, which is the agency working on the project. The foundation stone for the construction of the university was laid by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on March 16, 2018. According to the Chief Minister, the project was delayed due to a communication gap between the centre and the state.
There was a video conference with the Honourable Union Sports Ministers and with me and the official. And earlier there was some communication gap. Fortunately, after consulting with the Honourable Indian Minister Sports Kiran Rijiju, now the company has been changed and given to the NBCC. And after taken over by the NBCC, some new plan, new drawing, new concept is required. So it has taken some time more. Very unfortunate, because it is the pet project of the Honourable Prime Minister Modi ji, and it is the dreams University of the Peoples of Manipur.
The construction work started only after the visit of campus site by Union Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju in September last year. During his visit, Mr. Rijiju also inaugurated the synthetic turf ground for football at Takyel in Imphal West, interacted with many youth footballers and assured the people that he would not tolerate any hindrance to the progress of National Sports University.
This National Sports University was declared in 2014, but thereafter, due to location, due to the land issue, it took time to take off. After the settlement of the land issue, the new site has been identified, and when I have taken over the charge of this ministry, I have decided that I will not accept further delay in National Sports University progress. It must begin as soon as possible.
Which sanitizers should you use? Sanitizers versus soap and water, which is better? Does the alcohol content in the sanitizers adversely affect the skin? Check out what the medical fraternity has to say about sanitizers. Since the outbreak of COVID-19, hand sanitizers have become one of the most sought-after items. All the pharmacies and even grocery shops have started stocking the same, with various companies, big and small, producing them. However, it is important to know that all hand sanitizers are not effective against coronavirus. Hand sanitizers are basically of two types: alcohol-based and alcohol-free. It is the alcohol-based sanitizers with a minimum of 60% alcohol that one must buy for usage to reduce the risk of getting infected by coronavirus. True, they do dry the skin a bit more than the alcohol-free ones, but the medical advice is do not risk infection over skin care.
Frequent use of alcohol-based sanitizers can harm your skin. Definitely it will harm, it will dry up your skin, but then to save yourself from more dangerous coronavirus, still it has to be used. What we can do is, you can use minimum 60 to 70% of alcohol-based sanitizer and added with skin-friendly moisturizers. You can use hand moisturizers along with the sanitizers to keep your skin safe.
The next question is whether one should opt for soap and water or sanitizer. Dr. Tale, who hails from Arunachal Pradesh and is today the Chief Medical Officer of Delhi government, advises use of soap and water if they are at hand and tells people to avoid using sanitizers just before eating with their hands.
We are overusing the sanitizers. We have been misusing the sanitizers. What are the sanitizers which kills the virus? It should have minimum 60 to 70% of alcohol. So that is not a normal hand sanitizer or a hand moisturizer. We can get confused. So your sanitizer should contain minimum of 60 to 70% of alcohol, and alcohol is a chemical which if you inhale, that's also harmful, and if you go inside the mouth, that is also harmful. So the best thing what we can do is wash your hand with soap and water. That is 100%, it will kill the virus. Even after using sanitizers, before eating, you have to wash your hand. You shouldn't inhale or take any chemical inside you.
Other precautions and things to keep in mind are that hand sanitizers do not work on greasy, oily or dirty hands. Second, hand sanitizers contain alcohol and thus can catch fire. so don't go near fire or start cooking immediately after using sanitizer. Don't keep sanitizers inside the cars or kitchen in these summer months. Don't dip masks with sanitizers as alcohol vapors are trapped in cloth and the fumes could cause nausea. Also wrong is sanitizing eatables like fruits and vegetables with sanitizers, as many people have started doing. Sanitizers have chemicals. Doctors suggest washing vegetables with running water and before peeling them. We will go for a very short break here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you in a few seconds' time. First Word, a complete monthly magazine of the Northeast, read by who's who of the land, packaging news and current affairs, sports, culture, festivals, achievers, life in Metro and lots more. Buy the magazine today from stalls across the Northeast and New Delhi at ₹50 per copy, or subscribe for 12 issues by paying ₹550 online. For details, contact 98101 29327. Northeast people living in the national capital have not only received relief rations during lockdown time, but many have also donated rations for the needy, who include both Northeast people and people from the other states, including the migrants. We witnessed a relief ration distribution to the Burmese refugees. Watch on. Northeast people living in Delhi have not only received relief ration from Delhi police and NGOs during the lockdown period, but have also contributed rations which have been distributed among the needy, including non-Northeasterners and migrant workers also. NGO Helping Hands, founded by Delhi Police's Special Commissioner Robin Hibu, as also Delhi Police personnel, have been in the forefront of this collection from generous donors in Delhi and distribution to the needy.
The Northeast people have helped the Helping Hand during this COVID lockdown in Delhi and NCR. In the initial stage, we somehow pooled our resources from our own source and we started distributing rations to our own people. Later on, when it was exhausted, I had appealed to the Northeast people to donate or to give the essential commodities to our Northeast people. It was a massive response from all parts of the Northeast, and most of the almost 127 people, they came out and gave all those help to for the rations for the Northeast people.
Every day, the team prepares a list of needy people who are facing financial or other difficulties in buying their rations in Delhi, takes stock of the rations at hand, calls the needy people to come to a fixed venue, and ferries the rations there for distribution. Recently, one such drive was carried out among Burmese refugees living in the national capital. Our team of Youthfolio witnessed a methodical approach of refugees making a queue, following social distancing and wearing masks, and police personnel distributing rice, pulses, atta, biscuits, soap, etc. Helping Hands, with the help of Delhi police, had distributed food and other items to over 6,623 families till the 5th of June.
Till now, we have given 6,623 families. We have provided the ration to 6,623 families. 6,623 families. And still, we are having some more materials with us, and the process is still continuous. Initially, some friends and other donors provided us. Thereafter, Northeast Council also came in front, and they also provided about 25 tons of rice and 6 to 7 ton of dal etc. Along with others, they provided soap, sanitary pads and shampoo pouches etc.
The Burmese people who received rations expressed gratitude for the same, saying that they were facing tremendous difficulties due to corona pandemic and lockdown.
लॉकडाउन की वजह से हम लोग ये बर्मीज लोग बहुत तकलीफ़ में रह रहे हैं और हमारे पास खाना वगैरह बहुत वो हो रहा है, तकलीफ़ होता है और ये लॉकडाउन की वजह से हम लोग को बहुत दिक्कत होता है और वैसे ये लोग ने हम लोग हेल्पिंग किया तो हम लोग बहुत खुश रह पाते हैं और मतलब बहुत वो होता है, बहुत खुशी होता है इन लोग से मरने के लिए.
We have been facing a lot of crisis during the pandemic, so we are very helpful to everyone who's helping out at the NGO, and it somehow helps, even as a little bit, it somehow helps us.
Apart from rations, Helping Hands is also providing legal, medical, psychological, investment and other help. Well friends, we have reached the near end of our scheduled time for this episode of Youth Folio. Check out the names of our contest winners before we bid adieu. For our contest section, we had asked, as per the guidelines of the World Health Organization, what minimum percentage of alcohol should an effective sanitizer against coronavirus have? The answer is, the sanitizer should have minimum 60% alcohol. The winners are Jogan Basumatari from Kokrajhar, Assam, Binapani Bus 4 from Guwahati, Assam, and V. Heleni Devi from Imphal, Manipur. Congratulations winners, we will recharge your mobile phones with Rs 500 each within this weekend itself. Viewers who wish to win similar recharges from us have to answer a very simple contest question. The question this week is, which type of sanitizer should you use? Alcohol based or alcohol free? Rush your entries to youth_folio@yahoo.com or SMS or WhatsApp to 98101 29327. Don't forget to tune in to Youth Folio again next Saturday at 7:30 p.m. only on DD Assam. You could also check our earlier episodes on YouTube, and please also subscribe to our Vision channel on YouTube. See you all next Saturday. Until then, goodbye and take very good care of yourselves.